Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. A man has a date in court next month after police allegedly found weapons and drugs in a car at Pecolbin. Police were called to a Bellbird address on Wednesday to reports of a concern for welfare. When they arrived, a man in a hatchback drove off at high speed. Patrolling police noticed the car on Oakey Creek Road a short time later, with the driver running off. The 28-year-old was arrested nearby. A search of the car allegedly uncovered knuckle dusters, a folding knife, 25 grams of methamphetamine and an amount of cash. He's been refused bail to face Cessnock Court on November 5. The New South Wales Farmers Federation says the hunter can play a pivotal role in diversifying away from coal by boosting agriculture. The Federation has launched a discussion paper called Beyond Coal, New Growth for Newcastle and the Hunter, which highlights the potential for 88,000 new jobs and the generation of an extra $20 billion for the state's economy. Board Director Bronwyn Petrie says there's lots of potential in value adding to produce from the region through manufacturing of end products.
To look at these skills in technology, etc., that can really build on our agricultural produce, instead of having raw materials being shipped out of the port, that we actually have a value adding onshore in Newcastle and the Hunter region as those products come in from further west.
Newcastle Council is warning it could fail to meet its part of the state's ambitious housing target without significant further investment. Council's been given the challenge of delivering 11,000 new homes by 2029. However, Council says this equates to more than 60% of its previous 20-year target, now crammed into 5 years. Executive Director of Planning and Environment, Michelle Bisson, says Council should be allowed to access infrastructure funding programs, which is currently only available to Sydney councils, who are eligible to tap into more than $500 million. A new strategy has been unveiled to target violence and abuse against retail workers. It will give police the power to conduct knife-wanding operations in shopping centres across the state, including the Hunter. Retailers will also be given extra training through education programs. It's claimed Port Stephens locals are being left in the dark as the state government trials a jet ski ban over Christmas, beginning on December 24 and finishing on January 26. Signage for the exclusion zones will be council funded and some ratepayers are not happy. Councillor Mark Watson says council is seeking further information.
It's going to be an urgent motion. Basically, we're just asking for some clarity. We want to understand the scope of the wording a little bit better without providing a solution. We're going to have impacts there for local businesses and tourism. We don't know what the full scope of the restrictions are yet.
3 months on from heavy rain which left Newcastle's Horseshoe Beach littered with large branches and driftwood, the popular sand strip has been cleaned up ahead of Rising Tide's People's Blockade next month. Volunteers from the group took it upon themselves to tidy up the beach last weekend. Newcastle Council also chipped in, using its beach cleaning rake to help remove larger pieces of driftwood. The clean-up is also being welcomed by dog owners, with the beach a popular off-lead location all year round.
(2NURFM) Sport.
Newcastle cricketers Kiva Bray and Sam Bates will face off in the T20 Spring Challenge tomorrow when the Sydney Sixers take on the Sydney Thunder. Both sides sit at 1 win and 1 loss after their opening 2 matches, with 2 to play before the WBBL begins in November. First ball is set for 2:15. Elsewhere, round 3 of the Tom Locker Cup begins tomorrow with Merewether still in search of their first win. They'll take on Belmont, who are coming off the back of a loss to Uni last weekend, while Stockton will host Charlestown. Defending champs Wallsend face Waratah Mayfield, and West travel to number 1 Sports Ground to play Newcastle City. Newcastle juniors Claire Wheeler and Emily Van Egmond are in the Matildas squad to play friendlies in the UK. They face Wales at midnight on Sunday before taking on England at 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. And Cessnock's Simon Whitlock will battle it out against Kiwi Johnny Tata on night 4 of the ANZ Darts Premier League in Hobart tomorrow night. That's sport, I'm Will McGrath.
And the winning numbers in Powerball are 4, 8, 14, 19, 20, 24 and 33, and the Powerball is 16. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.